Listen to me carefully. You say you want a different life. You say you're tired. You say you've had enough. But let me ask you something real. If you really wanted it, why are you still living the same way? Because wanting is easy. Dreaming is comfortable. Talking costs nothing. But transformation, that demands something from you. And most people are not ready to pay. You wake up every morning with potential, but you go to sleep with excuses. You blame your past. You blame your situation. You blame people who don't even think about you. But the truth is simple and uncomfortable. Nobody is holding you back, except you. You want success, but you still love comfort. You want change, but you're addicted to familiar pain. You want growth, but you're afraid of losing who you used to be. Let me tell you something they don't tell you on social media. You cannot keep your old habits and expect a new future. It doesn't work like that. You can't pray for strength and then run from struggle. You can't ask for greatness and avoid responsibility. You can't say, I want it, and then show up halfway. Life doesn't reward intentions. Life rewards commitment. And commitment shows up when motivation disappears. Because motivation will leave you. It always does. That excitement you feel after watching a video, it fades. That energy you feel on day one, it disappears. And when that moment comes, who are you without motivation? That's the real question. Because champions are not built when they feel good. They're built when they're tired, when they're doubting, when nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching. You don't need more motivation. You need a higher standard. A standard that says, I do what needs to be done, even when I don't feel like it. See, most people are emotional decision makers. If they feel good, they work. If they feel tired, they quit. If they feel inspired, they push. If they feel uncomfortable, they stop. That's why they stay average. Winners don't let emotions deck. Discipline says, get up anyway, show up anyway, do the work anyway, even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when it's lonely. And yes, it will be lonely, because when you start changing, people get uncomfortable. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're reminding them of what they're not doing. So they'll laugh, they'll doubt you, they'll question your choices. And if you're weak, you'll listen. But if you're serious, you'll understand this truth. You're not here to fit in. You're here to become something. And becoming requires separation. There will be days when you wake up and feel heavy. Not physically, but mentally. Days when your mind tells you to slow down. Days when your past calls you back. Days when comfort whispers your name. And on those days, you don't negotiate. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You ask, who am I becoming? Because every action is a vote. A vote for your future, or a vote for your old self. And the reason your life hasn't changed yet is because you keep voting for the same version of you. Same habits, same routines, same excuses, different year, same behavior. Let that sink in. You don't need a new year. You need a new level of honesty. Honesty that says, I've been wasting time. I've been inconsistent. I've been lying to myself. That honesty hurts, but it heals. Because once you stop lying to yourself, you can finally lead yourself. Leadership starts internally. Before you lead a business, before you lead a family, before you lead a team, you must lead your mind. And your mind right now is undisciplined. It starts things it doesn't finish. It gets excited, then distracted. It wants results without process. But success doesn't respond to shortcuts. It responds to sacrifice. There is a price for the life you want. And the question is not, can you pay it? The question is, are you willing to pay it consistently? Because everybody wants the reward. Few want the routine. Everybody wants the title. Now listen closely, because this is where most people quit. Not at the beginning, not when it's exciting, but right here, when the results are slow, when the effort is heavy, when nobody is noticing. This is the phase where discipline gets tested. See, anyone can start. Starting feels good. Starting feels powerful. But finishing requires character. And character is built in moments when nobody is forcing you to continue. There will come a point where you look around and ask yourself, is this really worth it? You'll see other people relaxing. You'll see them laughing. You'll see them enjoying life. And for a second, you'll feel like you're missing out. But let me tell you something real. They're enjoying comfort now, so they can struggle later. You're struggling now, so you can live free later. Delayed gratification is painful, but instant gratification is expensive. Costs you your future. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they get impatient. They want results before they deserve them. They want rewards before responsibility. They want recognition before repetition. But the world doesn't work like that. You don't get paid for potential. You get paid for performance. And performance doesn't show up once. It shows up again, and again, and again, even when you're tired. Especially when you're tired. Because fatigue reveals who you really are. When you're fresh, everyone looks disciplined. When you're motivated, everyone sounds committed. But when you're exhausted, when you're frustrated, when nothing is working, that's when your true identity shows up. And the question is, do you quit or do you adapt? Winners don't quit. They adjust. They learn to work without applause. They learn to move without validation. They learn to push without encouragement. They become self-driven. And self-driven people are dangerous. Dangerous because they don't need permission. Dangerous because they don't wait. Dangerous because they don't BR. And that's not your problem. You're not responsible for protecting other people's comfort. You're responsible for protecting your future. And your future requires sacrifice. Sacrifice of time. Sacrifice of sleep. Sacrifice of distractions. You can't build something extraordinary with ordinary habits. You can't expect elite results from average effort. At some point, you must decide, am I serious or am I just talking? Because life listens to actions, not words. You say you want success? Then your schedule should reflect that. You say you want growth? Then your habits should reflect that. You say you want change? Then your choices must change first. Nothing changes until you change. And change is uncomfortable by design. If it was comfortable, everyone would do it. But everyone doesn't do it. That's why everyone doesn't win. There will be moments where your mind tries to pull you back. It will remind you of your past. It will remind you of your failures. It will remind you of who you used to be. And you have to respond firmly. You have to say, that version of me is no longer in charge. Your past doesn't get a vote in your future. Learn from it. Respect it. But don't live there. Because every time you revisit your old identity, you slow down your progress. Growth requires a new standard. A standard that says, I don't negotiate with weakness. I don't make excuses. I don't quit on myself. And yes, you will fall sometimes. That's part of the process. But disciplined people don't stay down. They get up faster. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't sit in guilt. They don't drown in regret. They reset. They refocus. They move forward. Momentum is built by recovery speed. How fast can you get back on track? That's what separates amateurs from professionals. Professionals don't wait to feel ready. They move because they are committed. They don't need perfect conditions. They create progress in imperfect environments. And that's what you must.